Hey everybody, welcome back to another week of the FOGO Life. I'm your host as always, Captain Ron. Today, the FOGO Life Brunch Edition. Yep, that's right, we're trying something special today. We're going for a brunch edition, and I'm gonna make my special biscuits and gravy. Now, my only problem is that I don't really know how to make biscuits, so I got these beautiful, they're pretty good, they're store-bought biscuits, so we're just gonna have to go with that. But, God, I wish that I had somebody that could help me show me how to make some true Southern biscuits.
Did somebody say biscuits?
What the? Who the heck is that?
God, Ron, it's a tight fit in here.
Well,
I need room to make these biscuits.
If I would have known you were coming, I would have. Ladies and gentlemen, Tina Cannon, woohoo!
The biscuit queen.
Tina Cannon, guys. Hey, listen, I don't know, if you've been living under a rock and don't know who this is Tina Cannon, like World Barbecue Champion. Tina won season 1 of Netflix's Barbecue Showdown, just placed 3rd on Bobby Flay's Food Network's Barbecue Brawl.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Tina, so great to see you. Give me some of that.
I'm glad to be here. But
listen,
I got a problem.
Yeah, what's the problem? Are you gonna show us how to make biscuits?
Yeah, we're not using that.
Gone. Now, for biscuits, we're gonna do brunch edition now, folks. We're gonna make some awesome biscuits and gravy on the thing here. Now, I have my phone ringing in my pocket. Now, I have a special thing that I like to do to my biscuits and gravy. I actually add some pork loin. I smoke a pork loin next to it, all right, and I like to layer it and slice that thin and put it on my biscuits and gravy. Do you have a problem with that?
No,
you have no
we
problem with
love
that?
our pork in the South.
All right, cool. So you're gonna handle the biscuits, because I have never, ever once in my life made biscuits. I tried, but like I said, I've never made biscuits.
Now step aside.
It's all yours. Now, before we get started, in full disclosure, okay, we did light the grill already, because this thing we want to cook at about 450 degrees for her biscuits. So we got this all lit up already, because the reason being is that we don't want a lot of smoke on our biscuits, right?
Right, we want a light kiss of smoke on it, and then also you want a really steady temperature when you're baking on an egg.
Right. So in other words, because they're biscuits, doughy things kind of like that can really soak in that smoke, and we just don't want to bite into an ashtray. I always say smoke is an ingredient, so we want just that little kiss of smoke on those biscuits, just to add that little bit of extra flavor, make it a little bit better than what you could even do in an oven. Does that sound about right?
I think it's perfect.
I think it's perfect too.
It's almost where it needs to be.
Yep, so we're at 450 degrees. Notice the one thing about the smoke is we got it burning for a long time. We have a nice clean fire burning. You see no smoke coming out of that chimney now. So that's exactly what we're looking for. We're using FOGO Black Bag Premium Charcoal for this because it's a nice mild smoke. So that's what we're using today. I think it's gonna work out just beautifully.
It's gonna be perfect.
It's gonna be perfect, she says. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna actually prep our pork loin. Now I said pork loin before, there are actually 2 pork tenderloins that I have here. They're beautiful.
Those are good biscuit size too.
Yep. These are actually from Swift Meats, and they're actually beautiful. I'm gonna leave a lot of this fat on here. I want just a little tiny bit of fat on there because it adds some flavor. So just take off anything extra that's hanging around there and then leave the rest. All we're gonna do is hit it with our Notorious PIG rub from PS Seasonings. This is available on our website down below. There's a link. So we're just gonna coat this pretty lightly. We don't want it to overpower the meat. We just want it to add a little bit of extra flavor.
Yeah, you don't want to overpower those biscuits.
No, we don't want to do that at all. Now, have you ever had pork loin or pork like this on biscuits or gravy before?
Actually, I have, but traditionally where I'm from, we cut it in cutlets and we fry it.
Oh,
so
nice.
This is gonna be super good. I love this barbecue prep tub here.
Yep.
I mean, it's like a cutting board and it keeps all the seasonings inside.
Yeah, so what I like, is we just sprinkled all the seasonings on there.
Yeah.
But there's all the seasoning in there. So you just
rub it around.
kind of take your meat and just kind of rub it on there. And all of a sudden now, you wasted 0 seasoning. It's all the seasoning is on your meat.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
And then you can just wash this whole thing.
It works out
Or
well.
you can carry this over to your grill.
Exactly, and the beautiful part is that the sides pop up. If you have something deep, you want to marinate something, you can pop the sides up, fold them back down, and it's easy to clean up. So
I
let's
need
go.
one.
Let's go. Well, let's get you one. Now we'll go ahead and put the pork tenderloins on the big green egg. Now, Tina, when you're putting those on there, don't forget we're going to need to put that pan with the biscuits in the middle there.
That's right. I'm going to save room. Biscuits that go right in the middle.
Now, we're cooking indirect here, which means there's no flames underneath it. You also want to make sure you're not putting it where the heat comes up over the edge, otherwise you're going to burn that whole outside of your pork loin. So make sure each one is over the convector or deflector, okay? And let's let them go to sleep while we prepare our biscuits. You know what though, Tina, while you're doing that, I just thought of something. This is cooking this a little bit hotter than normal, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in so we can watch the temperatures on the pork loins, all right? This is the meter. It's going to but it's going to monitor the temperatures for us while we're preparing these biscuits. So I just put it so that the tip of the probe is right in the middle of the meat. Works out every time. I'll set it up on my phone. It's got an app. Beautiful. Now, to the kitchen.
Get out of here. Well, Ron's in the kitchen. I'm gonna go ahead and start on the biscuits. So I have some leftover bacon fat, sausage fat. If you don't have that, you can use Crisco. So I'm gonna put a little in the bottom of my cast iron skillet to make sure it's good and non-stick, and the bacon fat has some flavor too. And then I'm just gonna set this aside while we mix up the biscuits. Where I'm from, we like to use white lily flour. It's a particular brand, and to me, it does have a different flavor than other flour. And it's also traditional in my family. My grandfather always used it, my great aunts, everybody in my family, this is what we used. If it's not in your area, look for a soft flour. All right, so I'm gonna start with measuring 3 cups of flour, sifted. There's something different than 3 cups of flour sifted versus 3 cups of sifted flour. They're opposite. So we're gonna put 3 cups in, and I'm using just a colander type sifter here. You can use the hand crank kind if you want to, whatever you got. So 3 cups, and then we're just gonna sift it out. This makes for a light and fluffy biscuit. Lighter and fluffier. Now, if I'm gonna add cheese or some other things to my biscuit, sometimes I will skip this because I want it a little more dense. So sift it out. Hope we don't get a wind out here. If we do, I'll be covered in flour. So I like to make a well in the middle for a couple reasons. I think that helps me mix the butter in better. And this is a key thing to making biscuits, y'all, is making sure everything is cold. And we're here in South Florida, so I'm gonna have to work quickly, so catch up. All right, so I've got a stick of butter here, but we only need about a half a stick for this recipe. The rest of it I will put on the top or put inside. So we're gonna cut this in tiny little squares. That is the key. And at home, I have a secret trick that I do to this so I can throw biscuits together when anybody drops by, is I will actually do this step and put that wrapped up in wax paper in my freezer. So I'm gonna cut it in tiny, tiny little squares. Tinier the better, so whatever you have patience for. So once I cut them, now I'm working quickly because it's pretty warm here. And then my secret at home is I actually will dust these pieces with flour so they stay apart. So you don't end up with like dough balls in your biscuits. Having it spread out so it melts evenly gives you a better texture in your biscuits. But if you want to cheat and have this part done, just roll it in flour and put it in the freezer. That's what I would do. Because I have to make company come by, they'll drop by, and I have to throw some biscuits together. That's what we do in the South. So that's just a tip. So I've cut it in tiny little squares, 1/2. What are you doing out here?
Are you making tiny little squares of butter?
Yes.
I was in the kitchen.
Well,
I look
you
at
missed this part.
Cooking away.
Well, I
guess
didn't want
I'm
to
gonna
wait.
have to watch the video to learn how to make biscuits,
That's
won't I?
exactly right. You're gonna have to watch the video.
One view.
At least I know I have a view here, right? Yeah. So I've cut, what I've did, Ron, here is I actually took a half a stick of butter and cut it in
That was the one that was super cold, right? We had it super cold?
Yeah.
It was like
But,
frozen.
yeah, I'm trying to work
Boy,
quickly.
look how quick it's softening up here. We're in the Florida heat, folks.
Yeah. Now, some people will use the grating method. You know, that's great. If you want to grate it, fine. This is just how my family did it.
Did you just say that's great?
Oh, yeah, I just made a joke.
She fits right in.
And I didn't even know it. All right, so we can set this aside to actually, when we're ready to eat, to melt on top.
You want to go put this in the fridge?
Yes.
Okay. To the refrigerator!
I just want to get it out of here. Anyway, so now I'm barely stir it. And I made that well, so it helps me incorporate the butter throughout the flour. Now I'm going to make another well. Well is the word of the day. And I'm gonna fill that well with buttermilk. I use approximately 1.5 cups of whole milk buttermilk. That is the key, whole milk buttermilk. That's a cup, trust me. And then the rest is a half a cup. Humidity will make a factor in this, so since I'm in South Florida, I may need a little bit less of the buttermilk. The key now is just fold it in. As soon as it's incorporated, we're gonna roll these biscuits out, cut them, and get them on the egg. You watching closely, Ron?
I am watching closely. So you don't actually stir it, you just keep folding. Okay.
And the key is if you can keep it cold. My mom actually puts the bowl in the refrigerator
Right.
So I hope that we don't have any faux pas here in South Florida since.
Now I just walked up. Did you tell the folks what the difference between stirring and folding is basically? I mean, it seems kind of basic to us, but maybe some people don't know.
Stirring is this action.
Okay.
Folding is where you're actually lifting and flipping it over.
So you just kind of bring it up from underneath and just lay it on top and just keep doing that over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guess what?
So what?
We ready.
Good. And I have good news. I found the biscuit cutter.
No.
What? Yeah.
I travel with my own biscuit cutter. So.
So, but,
yeah,
but
no,
I
no,
got.
No.
But
no.
I
Walk away.
no.
No. So now for the trusty wax paper. So you can put this on a board with some flour. This is just the way my family did it. We use wax paper, and you can actually fold over the wax paper instead of handling the dough. The goal is not handling it with warm hands. You want to? You can help this. Just cover this with flour like you were going to make pizza dough.
Okay,
like
I can do that.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the wax?
Yeah, on the wax paper.
Okay. So we got our cutting board, and it has wax on. Wax off.
No.
All right, is that good coating?
Yeah.
So you want to give a pretty
good coat.
fairly solid coating.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm just going to take all of this dough.
Okay.
It's a little bit wet, it's supposed to be, and put it on.
Well, that really is, okay.
See, it sticks, it makes a mess on your hands. It ain't fun if it don't make a mess.
You know, it's kind of funny because I've always been so intimidated to make biscuits, so it's only really a couple ingredients.
No, it's 3 ingredients.
That's wild.
Okay. So you see how I'm not touching it?
Yeah.
I'm just basically folding this over.
All right.
And it keeps me from touching it. And now it's actually, they're ready to cut.
That is too cool. That's crazy.
With my cutter.
So you really can cut them. You really can.
Oh, God.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop. So this short recipe, it depends on the size of your can, you know, how many biscuits it will make. I don't know how many we're feeding today. So this is gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 pretty large sized biscuits.
Okay.
And then we're gonna put them in our skillet. Can you see how the butter's still whole in there?
Yeah.
Still has these chunks.
We're gonna put them in the cast iron. So what's in the bottom of the cast iron?
I had greased that up with some bacon drippings.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it adds another layer of flavor.
Sure.
And pork fat rules to me.
Pork fat does rule.
Yeah.
So you can use, like you use bacon fat. You could probably use
sausage,
Wagyu tallow. Sausage.
Tallow.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the other thing too about biscuits, when you put them in the skillet, you want to put them tight together. That makes them rise higher. Because we want high biscuits.
Yeah.
If you put them individually, they're not.
Got this big giant pan, put space in between them, you're just gonna have some flat biscuits.
Flatter biscuits.
So the sides on this is gonna make it rise taller instead of, okay.
Exactly. So if you don't make enough dough to fix the skillet, just shove them all to one side.
That's
it's
so
okay.
cool. See, this is all the tips and tricks that I would never ever know, and probably won't find in a cookbook either.
No, you won't. This is something my mom and them did, so, you know. So we're probably gonna get one more after this, and the skillet will be pretty much full. So
that is so cool.
And then we can melt that butter and brush on top that we had, or we can do it afterwards.
So you just had a bunch of extra dough left there from in between the cuttings, just with one more biscuit
I'm just
out of
gonna make one more
I noticed
biscuit.
too that you're not packing them tight. You're just kind of leaving them loosely, like a you know, the way you don't want to overwork hamburger meat or a meatball or something like that.
Because you know when you overwork hamburger meat, it distributes the fat, it melts the fat. The same concept as a biscuit.
Sure. Okay.
So you want to, since your hands are cleaner,
yes, ma'am.
You want to grab and put them right in the middle?
I do. So we're ready to put them on the
Put
air.
them on.
All right. Cool.
Get it.
So just set them in there like that.
And walk away again.
Walk away again?
Again.
I can walk away happy this time. Here's my sausage gravy. I start with 1 pound of breakfast sausage. Yes, the stuff in the tube is great. 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour. It's got to be all-purpose, not self-rising. We're gonna have 3 to 4 cups of whole milk, all right? Not heavy cream, 3 to 4 cups of whole milk. Now, sometimes it calls for seasoned salt, but I like to use Grill Girl Robin's Sunshine State of Mind. It adds a beautiful flavor. Not only that, it's available on our website. And lastly, 2 teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper. Use freshly ground, it makes all the difference in the flavor in the world. Now the first thing we do is start with our tube of sausage. I like this stuff, I haven't found anything that works better for this, all right? So I'm gonna take it and just kind of break it into pieces, throw it in this pan. We're gonna brown all of this. All right, so you can see we're breaking down our sausage into small little crumbles. You wanna cook it till it's no more pink. You don't wanna see any more pink. Once it's cooked, we're gonna turn the heat down. We're gonna sprinkle it with flour. we're cooked all through the pink. So if you could sprinkle about half of that flour on here. So that's 1/3 of a cup. So we're gonna go about 1/6 of a cup. Good, good, good. All right, stir this around.
You want to cook that raw flavor out of it, right?
It's
almost like you're making a roux out of the fat that's in the sausage.
That's exactly what we're doing. That is literally exactly what we're doing. You can see that it's soaked all that flour up, right? So go ahead and just sprinkle a little bit more.
A little more?
Yeah. All right, work it in a little bit at a time so that you don't want it clumpy, you don't want it coating. We just want to work it all in, make sure it's evenly distributed.
Work
it, baby. Hey. You're gonna get a little coating on the bottom of the pan. That's all right. We're gonna deglaze the pan with our milk. Go ahead and put the rest of that on there for me, Tina.
And spread it out.
Wonderful. Hey, you make a pretty good team here. You know that? All right, so now it's time to add the milk. So we have a cup with 4 cups in it. We're gonna start with 3. We can always add more. It's really hard to take some out. So go ahead and pour about 3 cups in there.
Yeah. Because it depends on how thick you like your gravy. Some people like it more pasty and some like it more liquidy.
I like it a little thick myself.
Me too.
Yeah, why does that not surprise me? All right, you can add more. You can add some more than that. Like I said, we're gonna go with a minimum of 3 cups.
It's coming together already, yeah. And all that flavor's coming off the bottom of the pan.
Exactly, yep.
Yeah.
It's funny because you can feel it scraping off the bottom of the pan. All of a sudden, it's a nice, smooth slide across. Go ahead. We'll go 1 more cup, right? Because that was 2, yeah. 3 cups altogether. All right.
There we go.
So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cook this down. We're gonna reduce it. All right, reduce it, reduce it, reduce it. What that means is that we're gonna boil this away and the steam is gonna evaporate some and it's gonna thicken it up. That's what's gonna thicken our gravy between the roux that we made on the sausage and this. It's gonna work out just beautifully. Now you can see you kind of get a nice buildup around the edges here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a rubber spatula. It's so great having an assistant here. Use a rubber spatula to just scrape the stuff down off the sides and put that back down in there. That's all goodness.
So
all right, very good. So we're really getting nice and thick. So go ahead and add in our pepper.
All of this?
Yep, so that's 2 teaspoons of freshly ground black pepper. There you go.
Don't sneeze.
And for the seasoned salt, again, we're using this. It's only about, I don't know, probably about 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm just gonna give it a good little shake like that. That's more than 1/2 teaspoon, I would say, but that's okay. And then stir that in. Okay, again, do not let it boil too hard, folks.
So Ron, I'm gonna baste these with a little bit of butter.
Tina, everything's better when basted with butter.
That's what Mama says. Have you got your gravy done?
It's done.
All right.
Nice basting brush.
And so are these. Yeah, that is nice.
Yep. All right, the meter app says that we are at 145 degrees. I was gonna stop at 140, but I wasn't paying attention. So, 3 clicks to calibrate the tongs, and let's pull these pork tenderloins off of here. We're gonna let them rest while the biscuits finish up. Now, one big thing, don't tell Tina I opened the grill while the biscuits are cooking, okay? You're not supposed to lose any heat. When you put your biscuits in, try not to open it and lose any heat whatsoever. It'll help for making more evenly cooked biscuits, I would say.
Ron?
Oh, hi, Tina.
You didn't open the grill, did you?
Why would I possibly open the grill? That's ridiculous.
Then how did you get those?
What?
How
did I get what?
The pork tenderloins out.
What pork tenderloins? I don't see any pork tenderloins. Do you guys see any pork tenderloins? See, they didn't see anything either.
I hope you didn't ruin my biscuits.
My buttermilk biscuits.
So make me some space.
How about right there?
That's perfect.
Ah. So yesterday we were having a little conversation. We were talking about biscuits and everything like that. And I told her that my mom, you make me cry. My mom always used this basket and a like napkin to keep her breads warm and everything like that. And you went and dug that out.
I rummaged through and it spoke my name to get it. So that's sweet.
Look. She actually raised the hair on my arm. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Make me well up on camera. It's not fair.
All right, today.
Oh, yeah.
Ready.
Look at that. We got biscuits.
Yes.
Buttermilk biscuits. And they flip right. Look at that beautiful golden color. Tina Cannon cooks, and she does it well. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Miss Tina Cannon, it's that time, I think, all right? Now, do you mind if I go ahead and do the honors?
I want you to do the
All
honors.
right. Now, I'm going to take your beautiful biscuits here. You have beautiful biscuits.
Thank you.
Now, do I want to rip them open? Do I want to cut them open? I was kind of thinking to cut them open since we got the pork that's going on.
That's fine,
All
yeah.
right, so I'm just going to give them a nice
That way
little
they'll
cut.
be nice and even, for like a sandwich, sort of.
Oh, they're so nice and tender. All right, I'm just going to lay them out right here. Just like that. That one, I broke it. My bad. I didn't cut it all the way through. So this one I'm going to make sure to cut all the way through without cutting my hand.
Yeah, be careful.
Okay. Voila, 2 biscuits. All right, there we go. Let's do another one. Oh, look at that. She did it my way. She did it where I like to do it, like to tear it.
Tear it.
All right, so we got 3 beautiful biscuits right there. I noticed that some crumbs came off though, Tina.
Yep.
All right, now, here's my special part. I like to put this on before we put the gravy. So I'm gonna put it on one side, and I'll lay one on the other side too. I don't know about you, I don't make a sandwich out of it. I just do it like this
Open
and
face.
eat it just like this, exactly. All right, I like to take a ladle, nice hot gravy still, nice and thick. I don't know if you like yours this thick, but I like
Yes.
mine really
No, that's
thick.
good.
I like one I have to chisel.
You can't have too much
No,
gravy.
you can't have too much gravy.
Yeah, I'm all about doubling up, man.
I'm all about doubling up too. Like I don't even want to see my biscuit. I don't want to see anything. I want gravy. There we go.
Bury
That
it.
is- See, I like mine thicker than most people. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you don't like yours this thick, just take it off sooner. Turn it off
Yeah.
sooner.
Or
But
add more milk.
yeah, if you don't like it this thick, well, you're wrong. Whatever.
Yeah.
But let's make,
Make
it
it
pop.
fancy.
Make it pop. Look at that. We going chefy here. In honor of this Tina Cannon, we going chefy. We're very chefy, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so there's only one thing I like to do. What do you like to call this?
Finishing dust.
Finishing dust, exactly. You know, I do the same thing with my pulled pork.
Yeah.
You know, after I shred it, I add a little more of a seasoning back on. So we're just gonna hit the top of this with some Florida Sunshine State of Mind rub here. And will you allow me the pleasure of cutting you a piece?
Yes, I will.
Yay. All right. So we're gonna cut some. We've got some pork, we got some gravy, got everything there. I'm gonna cut myself a little piece here.
I may not even need a fork.
I know, I was half tempted to pick it up and eat it like a damn bagel.
I think that's what I'm gonna do.
This is why I love her, folks. This is why I love her. Cheers, Tina. Wow, that biscuit's just beautiful. Look at that color.
You can make some good gravy. Don't tell my mom I said that.
I won't.
I can't do that. I can't do And that's not Botox. It just, they don't work.
Oh, Tina, those biscuits. I mean, light. I mean, airy. The browning is like perfect. I mean, it's so funny. 'Cause I was afraid, because after a little while, we got a little smoke that was developing there. I was going, uh-oh, you know, because from the pork loins, it is like that perfect amount of just a touch of smoke. If you don't even, almost to the point that if you didn't know it was there, you might not be, if you're not sensitive to it, you know. Wow. So you like my gravy?
Yes.
I got to be honest with you, I was nervous. You know, you don't want to make gravy. That's
For a
like
Southerner.
Yeah, that's like making like I don't know, steak for Bobby Flay. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something that you specialize in. You specialize in a lot. You do a lot of Southern cooking, and I know that. So I was a little nervous making this for you, but I'm always very proud of this. I think it's fantastic. This is going to brighten up any brunch, wouldn't you say?
I think definitely.
She's just going to keep eating.
I'm just going to
so
keep it, and you
that's
can
right.
keep talking, whatever.
Folks, leave us a comment down below. Say hi to Tina Cannon, all right? I promise she'll even respond to you. How's that, all right? Because she's got her own YouTube. So, Tina, tell us where everybody can find you on social media again.
I'm glad you did that before I put this bite in my mouth.
I was
You can find me on all social media at Tina Cannon Cooks.
That's
YouTube, everything.
C-A-N-N-O-N.
C-A-N-N-O-N.
Like the artillery. Boom.
Boom.
All right. Guys, like I said, leave us a comment. Hey, join us. Subscribe to our channel. Come join us, all right? We're going to hit 100,000. We're going to do something really cool at 100,000 subscribers. So we're going to keep on putting out great content. We're going to keep cooking. We're going to keep giving tips, grilling tips, everything that you could possibly imagine. So tune in. Remember, get out and grill. And I'll see you next time on the FOGO Life. Tina and Captain Ron, out.